Hi everyone, I'm Paul and welcome to this talk about Renovate, our superhero of the day. First of all, let me introduce myself. So I work in France, in Nantes at Soprasteria, and I work as a platform engineer. So I work mostly with CI/CD, infrastructures, Kubernetes, and all the tools you can develop for the developers. And I'm a lucky guy. Sometimes I still code. And today I'm here because I have a big problem. I feel that to maintain a Kubernetes infrastructure can be really painful and time consuming. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about all the OpenTofu providers you have to update, your Ansible requirements. And I think the biggest part for me is all the technical tools you have to maintain. So what kind of technical tool like ingress controller, state manager, Prometheus Grafana for the supervision, but it could be as well like Harbor for the Docker registry, etc. All the technical stack you have to deploy to make your Kubernetes cluster work. If you want to update one of those tools, you have to check the current version, you have to check online if there are a new version. If yes, you have to check the changelog, you have to do the merge request, etc. So we can, for one tool, it sounds annoying. So imagine when you have 10, 20 tools, it's really really annoying. So sometimes we don't update enough and we have some technical debt. So today I would like to show you a way to make your life a bit easier using Renovate. So what is Renovate? It's a tool to automate the update of your dependencies, and it's highly customizable and it works with a lot of dependencies managers. I think it's most popular for application dependencies like Maven, NPM, etc. But we'll see it works as well with infrastructure as code. So how does Renovate work? First, it will analyze your repository to detect dependency managers files, and it will extract all the dependencies you are using with their version, and then it will check online in the different registries or repositories if there are a new version, and if yes, it will create a merge request or a pull request to do the update for you. And now let me show you why using Renovate and infrastructure as code is really fire. So for the demo, I created a Kubernetes cluster using Azure AKS with OpenTofu. I used the Ansible playbook to deploy Argo CD on this cluster, and then I'm using Argo CD and the pattern app of apps pattern to deploy all my technical stack. We will see how to configure Renovate to update the dependencies of this technical stack. So all the tools we are deploying in Kubernetes. All right, let's Renovate. So here we have my Argo CD repository. So it's app of apps pattern. And so here we can see all the tools I'm deploying for my technical stack. You can see I only have 5 tools. It's like a sample. In the reality, you have like maybe 10 or more tools. And here we have a set manager, GitLab runner, ingress controller, monitoring stack with pointers in Grafana, and Velo for the backups. So if we take a look at one of those folders, they are all the same architecture. We have one file Argo CD application, it will be our Argo CD application, and one for the Helm values. If we take a look at the Argo CD application, the main part will be here. It's the information about the Helm chart we are deploying with Argo CD. So here we have the URL, we have the version and the name. So now I already configured Renovate for this repository. So we will take a look at the merge request. As you can see, we have 13 merge requests. So let's take a look. So you can see we have quite a lot of merge requests for each tools. And we will take a look at this one from Velero. If we take a look at the title, we can see it's about the Helm release of Velero, and it's an upgrade for 8.6 to 8.7. You can see the same here in this summary. It's a minor version. A really interesting thing is that you have the release note here. So you will have all the changelog between the different version here. Everything is centralized in the merge request. So it's really useful. And if we take a look at the changes, so it detected the Argo CD file in the Velero folder, and it did the modification to edit the target revision. So if you are agree with this modification, you just have to merge it. And as I'm using Argo CD, in a few seconds it will be deployed on my cluster. All right, let's see another merge request. We can see here we have another one for Velero from 8 to 9. It's because I configured Renovate to do one merge request per major version. It's more, it's for safety because sometimes, often between two major versions you have a lot of breaking change, so you prefer to have to separate the merge request. And we have another one for Velero here. If we take a look, you can see the title is different. Here it's not about Helm release, it's about Docker tag. And if we take at the changes, you can see it's about the m values file, and it detected we were using a Docker image inside, so it's doing the upgrade as well. So it's really useful if you are, for example, for this init container. All right. And then I will show you here, if you take a look at GitLab runner here, you can see we have quite a lot of merge requests. It's because I configured a specific rule for this package to do one merge request per minor version. Because one minor version of GitLab runner is compatible with a specific minor version of GitLab. So I prefer to separate them. You will have the same use case if you are using Python. Each minor version of Python, you can have a lot of breaking changes. All right. And how did I configure Renovate for this repository? So let's take a look. You can see here I created the renovate.json file. It's the Renovate configuration. And you can see it's it's not that big. It's like only 40 lines. So it's a simple configuration. And if we take a look at the different configuration, we can see in extends, you can extend the configuration presets. So it's like block of configuration. For example, this one is the one I was talking about to have a one merge request per major version. This one is to limit the number of pull requests you want to create per hour. It's really useful if you don't want to destroy your your pipelines runners. And you can configure things about the assignees, commit message, etc. The last part of the file are interesting because we have here the package rules. It's the one I was talking about the GitLab runner. So it let us to have one minor version, one merge request, per minor version. And here we have the configuration for Argo CD and Helm values. So it's already compatible with Renovate Argo CD. However, there are no standard about the files names. So you have to configure your own file match here to say, okay, my Argo CD files respect this pattern. Same for values. So this is how I configure this repository. Now I will show you how you can run Renovate on GitLab. It's quite similar with GitHub. So I created a repository called Renovate Runner. And inside I have a GitLab CI.yaml for the pipeline. And here I'm including a template, a Renovate template, official. And that's all. You just have to do that and you can run Renovate. So by default, it will run only on scheduled pipelines. So there are pipelines you can run often with a cron. This one is running every day at 8:30. So let's run it. And you can see it's run. And we will take a look at previous execution to see the logs. Here at the beginning, you can see it detected several repositories. We have the Argo CD one we just saw before, but as well there is a repository about OpenTofu, the one about Ansible. And I won't show you with the demo, but I have some slides for you. If you want to go further, you can configure Renovate with Ansible and OpenTofu. It's really simple. And here you have an example with OpenTofu. On the left part, you have a merge request about the Azure provider, about the version of this provider. So it's quite similar about the merge request with Helm. You have the changelog, etc. And on the right, you have a different example. It detected I was using the OpenTofu GitLab CI/CD component in my GitLab CI.yaml file. So it works as well with that. And for this, it's a less configuration than Argo CD because the file respects some already file match, so you don't have to configure it. And here we have an example with Ansible. So on the left, it's a requirements about Kubernetes.core to interact with Kubernetes. So similar as we saw before. And on the right, so this is this. On the right, it's a more difficult configuration file because you have to do special regex. But it detected I was installing Argo CD in my playbook with the version, so it's really useful. So to conclude this small talk, as you can see, Renovate is really easy to set up and to use. If you want to go further, you want to do custom pattern, etc., custom regex, you can configure it because it's highly configurable, but you can start with a really small configuration file. It will let you save a lot of time. Like you can see, I had 13 merge requests with Argo CD, so they were all created at the same time. So I saved a lot of time to check what are the available versions. You just have to read the merge request and to merge it if you agree. This is the part with the most value. And as you will merge more often, update more often, at the end it will reduce your technical debt. If you don't use Renovate yet, you can start with to use it with your infrastructure as code dependencies, as we saw, OpenTofu, Ansible, Helm, etc. And then later, you can extend it to your application to manage your application dependencies, because it's really, really useful for application, like your Maven dependencies, for example. And maybe you are already using it for applications, so you can easily extend it for your infrastructure as code. It's really easy. Or you can configure another Renovate, but you already have some configuration, so let's go. And if you want to save more time and you are confident, you can enable auto merge, so it will auto merge merge requests or the pull request. You can configure it, for example, for the patch and minor versions. However, be careful because it would be great if you have a good CI pipeline, and the best would be to have a staging environment where you can try all those upgrades. Thank you very much for your attention. Feel free to let me your feedback scanning this QR code. It's really helpful for me if you didn't like or if you liked this talk. Thank you to the PlatformCon for the opportunity and for Soprastaya as well. And I hope I convinced you to at least try Renovate. And see you and enjoy the rest of the talks. Goodbye.